Okay, so in yesterday's session, we have discussed about a few Hadoop file system shell commands. Now, so we are continuing the same session. So the remaining commands we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, so in this command, we have a command that is getmerge. Okay, so getmerge is a command which copies the content of the files in Hdfs to a local file system. Suppose in Hdfs I have a file that is file1 and file2, right? Now I want to get the content of file1 file to a local file system. Suppose in my system in a document I have a file with the name new file. Okay, in this new file I want to write the content of file1 comma file2. For this command we use the command getmerge. So getmerge is a command which is used to write the content of the files in Hdfs to a local file in my documents. See, I'm going to the terminal. Okay, so ls, now I'm in Cloudera, I'm working on Cloudera. So okay, so we'll take two files, suppose file1 and file1. I'm copying this file to Hdfs first. File1, file2. Okay, so I have a directory in Hdfs, that is Tahir, and I'm moving the files. Which files I'm moving? File1 comma file2. So just write Hadoop fs hyphen put is a command which moves the files from the local file system to Hdfs file system. So I'm moving the two files, file1, file2, to the directory Tahir in Hdfs. Okay, right, clear. Now I want to see what we have in a file, file1. So I'm writing Hadoop space fsfn cat. So we have a directory Tahir. In that one a file is there, file1. Okay, some content is written into the file1. So I'm taking another file, file2. Okay, so we have some content in this file. Right, now what I want to do is I want to write the content of the file1 comma content of the file2 to a local file. So I'm going to create a some test file. So just go to open the notepad, save this. Okay, I'm saving this as a file3. Where I'm saving this file? I'm saving this file in my documents. Save it. Okay, it is an empty file. Now for the in this file3 I want to write the contents of the file1 comma file2. So we have a command getmerge. Let me change.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so just write Hadoop space fsfn getmerge the file1 comma file2. So you can write multiple files, but the last file should be the local file, and then press enter. Now the content of the file1 file2 are written to file3. Okay, suppose I want to insert a new line after the file1, right? So then we run the command. We have to give the parameter -nl. After getMatch, just write -nl. Okay, first it writes the contents of the file1, then inserts a new line. After that it writes the content of the file2, right? So we'll go to the file3, just reload it. Right, so content of the file1, that inserted a new line, then it's a content of the file2. Okay, so this is getMatch command. Fine. So what are the other commands we have forgotten yesterday? Is sorry, clear the screen, then write Hadoop space fs, press enter. It will list all the commands. Now okay, so we have starts completed. Text. So one command we have text command. Okay, so Hadoop fs hyphen text. So this command will try to open everything as a plain text file. Suppose in Windows general what we'll do, we select like open with notepad, right? It's like so every content will be open in a notepad, right? You want to try to open the content of the file in a notepad, right? The same thing here. Hadoop space fs-text is a command which will try to open any file, right, which is in SDFS. You want to open it as a text file, then we run this command Hadoop space fs-text. So you take any file, suppose we have some file one in SDFS. Now to open this as a plain text file, so then write the command Hadoop space fs-text. It's something like open with notepad in Windows. So which file I want to open? I want to open the file user Cloudera and then Tahir, and I want to open the content of file 1. Just write it, press enter. Okay, so it will be displayed. Just it's a simple command. What it will do, it displays the content as a plain text. So whatever the file it is, right, whatever the file content it is and whatever the format it is, but it is going to be displayed as a plain text file. Okay, now see here, I'm going to the browser. Here I'm going to the name node 50070. If you click the browse the file system, right, so all the user files and directories are available under user Cloudera. So here I'm having directory Tahir, right? So now you can see the name of the directory is Tahir. It belongs to the type directory. Now when this file is created this time, and the permissions, owner name, group name. Suppose in a directory we have the some files, right? So what is the size of the file? It's a 61 bytes. And what is the block size which we are using in the cluster? We are using 128 MB, right? It's a default block size. Now the privileges. So now file 1 and file 2 both are having some privileges, like so read write, read write, that is user can able to read it, and others and group can able to only read it. A user can able to read and write. Which user? So the user with whose name is a Cloudera belongs to the group, right? Now we'll see how to change this group name as well as username. Okay, so we have the commands available, that is Hadoop space fs-chmod and Hadoop space fs-chown and Hadoop space fs-sage group. Sage group is a command which is used to change the group name of a file. By default, every file in SDFS belongs to a group. See here, I have a file 1, it is belongs to the group Cloudera. Now I want to change the group name of this file. So to change the group name, we have a command that is Hadoop space fs-change group. Then I want to change this group recursively. So just write Hadoop space fs-change group, then write -r, then write the new group name and specify the file name. See here, I'm going to run this. I'm taking a terminal. Okay, clear the screen. Hadoop space fs hyphen. Now I want to change the group name. So actually, which group right now? The file one is belongs to the group Cloudera. So I'm running the command Hadoop space fs hyphen ch group, and I want to apply this through recursively and then write the file name. So what is the file name? User Cloudera Tahir, correct? So just write the file name user slash Cloudera slash, then it's a directory Tahir. In this one we have a file 1, right, for this directory. Now what is the new group name you want to assign? Suppose I want to give the new group name as new group. Okay, I gave the new group name as new group. Okay, press enter now. Right, what it is saying, that changing ownership of this file, so the user not belongs to a group, new group. So now to run this command we need an admin privileges. So as of now I'm running this command as a super user. So I'm writing sudo is a command which gives you the super user privileges. So sudo -u is a username, that is SDFS is a user. So this SDFS user is having the privilege admin privileges. So I wrote sudo space -u SDFS and then run the command sudo -u then sdfs, then run this command hadoop space fs hyphen change group -r indicates recursively, and then write the new group name, then specify the file name, press enter. Okay, now we have changed the group name. So previously what is the group name? Cloudera. So just refresh the place and now the group name is changed to the new group. Okay, now I want to change the owner name. So if you want to change the owner name, we have the command chown, right? So which is used to change the ownership of a file. The same thing, write the command hadoop space fs-chown and then write the new owner name and then write the new group name and specify the file, right? I'll run this. Okay, so it's as usual, you have tried to get the admin privileges, you have tried sudo -u. So the username is sdfs is a user who is having a super user with admin privileges. Now write hadoop space fs hyphen chown, right? I want to change the ownership and I want to apply this through recursively. Then what we have to specify? We have to specify the new owner name and the new group name. So the new owner is a Tahir, and then write the group name separated by the colon. So he belongs to new group. Okay, so I'm going to create a new ownership, new user, and I'm giving him as a ownership to the new group, and the file name, which file I'm giving, it's a user cloudera, and there I have a directory that is Tahir. Now file 2, or you can give file 1, press enter. So previously the owner of the file 1 is cloudera. Now I have make Tahir as a owner of the file. Now you can check here, right? So who is the owner now? Cloudera. Just refresh it. Now so Tahir is a owner and is belongs to the new group. Now I want to change these privileges, right? So to change the privileges, we have the command chmod is available, right? It's similar like Linux command chmod, right? Change mode, right? With this we are going to give the privileges. So how to give the privileges? This is a kind of octal representation. So where generally we have the three types of user, that is a user and a group and others. Okay, so these are the Linux privileges, and if you want to assign a read, so it is 5, and for a group it is, no, it's a 4, and for group how much it is, Tahir, any idea? 2. Read is a 4 and write the privileges, you have to give 2, and to execute how much it is, 1. Okay, so
Okay.
if you give the 4 means you'll get the read privileges, if you give 2 write privileges, execute 1. So now suppose for this user I want to assign read and write, that is 4 plus 2 6, that is a user can able to read the file and write the file, and he can able to execute, then give 4 plus 2 plus 1 7, a user can read and write and execute. For a group I want to assign write and execute or read and execute, then read is a 4, execute is a 1, 4 plus 1 5, and others I want to give only execute privileges, then write 1751, means a one particular file a user can able to read and write and execute, and a group can read and execute, and others can only able to execute this file. So this is we generally we specify the command chmod. So this is a Linux command, and the same kind of implementation we are going to do in a Hadoop. So now I'm going to run this command. right? So for this directory, I want to give only read. Even for a group also I want to give the read, right? So then you have to run the command, clear the screen, Hadoop space fs hyphen chmod. I want to change the privileges, and when you're changing the privileges, I want to apply it through recursively and I want to run this as a admin privileges. So write sudo hyphen u, then space sdfs, then write Hadoop space fs hyphen chmod. If you want to apply recursively, then write hyphen r. You don't want to write hyphen r, you can skip that one. And I want to give the privileges 751 to the file 1 user Cloudera and Tahir and file 1. Press enter. Okay, so now I have given 751 means a user can read, write, execute. We'll see here in the browser. Just go refresh it, right? So a user can able to read and write, so I can't able to give that execute privileges. So it's a file 1 is read, write, read, and others doesn't have any privileges. I'll do like this. For everyone I'll give only execute privileges, right? To execute, to give the only execute privileges, then make it as 111, right? A user can able to read and execute, a group can able to read and execute 333, right? So we'll see with this 3. Or if you want to give the complete privileges, then 777, read, write, and execute. A user can read, write, execute, a group can read, write, and execute, and others also can able to read and write and execute. Give it. Okay, so if you refresh it, okay, so I can't able to give the execute privileges, but it's changed to read, write. Okay,
Why is execute not working?
because the particular user SDFS doesn't have the privileges to assign execute privileges to a user. Okay, so that
If,
I
if you use sudo command, will it work then?
sorry.
If you use sudo,
Yeah, I gave the sudo. Even I gave the sudo because it's a limitation in Cloudera, so I can't able to assign execute privileges. But I can give read. I'll change it only read. Then how much
okay.
is read? 444. So if you give read, so everybody will get read privileges. It works. See. Okay. So I can't able to give the execute privileges. Display the content of a file. Change group is used to change the group name, and change mode is used to change the privileges of a file. Change own ch1 is used to change the ownership of a file. Copy from local, which copies a file from the local file system to SDFS file system. Copy to local, which copies a file from the SDFS to local file system. And count is a command which is used to count the number of files and the directories and the file name, size of a file of a directory. That's a count command. So we can able to count the total number of files in a directory. And the cp is a command to copy a file from the one location to another location. And df is a command which will see the disk fragmentation. Like suppose you want to check how much disk space you have assigned for sdfs in that particular disk, then we run the command df. And du command is disk usage. So I want to check that each directory how much disk space it is utilized in sdfs. So we can check that with the command du. And expunge is a command. Suppose if you have any files deleted are available in a trash, and if you want to delete the files permanently from the trash, then we run the command expunge. So if you run Hadoop space fs-expunge, the files from the trash are going to be deleted permanently. Okay, so get is a command which copies a file from the sdfs to local file system. And getmerge is a command which matches the contents of the sdfs file to a local file. So what we did, we have a file 1 file 2 available in sdfs. Now I want to write the content of file 1 file 2 to a local file. which is in my document, the file 3, right? I want to write the content of file 1, file 2 to the file 3. So we use the command getmerge. And help is a command which will give you the description about any Hadoop command. And ls is used to list the files. Mkdir is used to create a directory. Move from local, which it's like a cut paste, which moves a file from the local file system to hdfs file system. Move to local, which moves a file from the hdfs to local file system, right? So it's a move is opposite to copy command, right, which will move the file from the one location to other location. And put is a command which writes a file from the local file system to hdfs file system, right? Rm is used to delete a file, and rm-r is used to delete a directory. So if you want to delete a file directly without moving it to the trash, then write the parameter skip trash. Means it's like pressing shift to delete in Windows, means the file is permanently deleted without moving it to the trash. So if you write rm-r skip trash, means a directory is permanently deleted from the hdfs. And the same thing to delete, we have other than rm-r or rmr, we can use the command rmdar, which is used to delete a directory from the hdfs. And setrep, which we are going to change the replication factor of a file. In this way we are going to override the existing replication factor to a one particular file, right? It's a replication factor. So I just want to replicate how many times you want to replicate. So you have to write -w and number of times you want to replicate. And start is a command which will give the statistics, like when this directory or the file is created. So this file is belongs to which username, this file belongs to which group name, so what is the block size of the file, and what is the replication of the replication factor of that file. So we are going to get the statistics information about a file. And tail is a command which is used to display the last 1 KB data of a file. Okay, then test is a command which we are going to test. It's not working, it won't work. We use this command to test. Suppose I have some file 1 exists in hdfs. Now I don't know whether the file 1 it is a file or a directory, we don't know that. Now so instead of going to the browser through name node then data node and checking for this file, we can able to run the command hadoop space fs-test, so that you are going to check. It will take three parameters, that is -e or -z or -d. Okay, e checks whether the given path is a file or not. Okay, suppose you want to check whether it's a file or not. It is a file, then if it returns true. If it is not a file, then it returns false. -z, which you want to check whether it is a empty file or not, to check that whether the file content or file size is 0 or not. For that we use hadoop space fs-test-z. Now if you want to check whether the given path is a directory or not, so then we write hadoop space fs-test-d, then write user cloudera tahir, right? Tahir is a directory, correct? Then what it will do, it will throw yes 1. Okay, so hadoop space fs-test is a command which we are going to check whether the given path is a file or a directory, or it is an empty or a zero size file. So if you write -e, it will check whether it's a file or not. If you write -d, it will check whether it's a directory or not. If you write -z, it will check whether it's an empty file or not. Okay, so I can't able to show this one because it's not working in my machine. Okay, and then we have a command touchjet, right, which is used to create an empty file, zero size file. So you want to know any usage of any other command, any command, then you run the command usage. So now I don't know how to use this setrep command, then you can write hadoop space fs-usage setrep, then it will give you the syntax how to use setrep command, right? So these are the Hadoop file system shell commands. Okay, we can able to do certain things through graphical user interface. So for this we have a component is available, that is hue, hue. Hue is a component which provides GUI, graphical user interface, where we can able to create a file or create a directory by clicking a mouse on a browser window. That's we have to configure this hue. So this is available from get hue. Okay, so you can check here. I'm going to browser window. Right, by default I'm getting the two components, one is a hue and other one is a cloudera manager. Hue is for the Hadoop developers and cloudera manager is for the Hadoop admins. Now Hadoop developers, what will do, now we'll work with Hive, Pig, Scoop, Uzi, right, creating the jobs, writing the programs, testing the jobs, right. So that comes part of the Hadoop developers. Suppose you're a admin, then you have to navigate to the Cloudera manager, where we are going to start and stop the cluster, and we are going to check the health of the cluster, right. You're going to add one more node to the cluster, or you're removing, you're making high available. So those are the things can be done in the Cloudera manager. Now I'm going to the hue. It's a graphical user interface. Username, the default username is Cloudera and the password is Cloudera. Okay, click the button, sign in. Right, now see, this is the screen, GUI screen of Hue. Now if you want to run a Hive query, yes, here we can able to write Hive query, right. So if you write select start from or show tables, right click execute. Now it will, like, if it will show you the tables. So it's a GUI, it will help you. Suppose show, now what to write you don't know, then press Control Enter, it will give you the some suggestions. Okay, the same way we have file browser is available. Now I want to create a directory in Hdfs. So previously I run a command Hadoop space fs-mkdir. So here if you want to create a directory from the GUI, right, open this file browser. Okay, open the file browser. So here you will find one option, new. Click on new, then select directory. So then a directory is going to be created. So I want to give the name it as Chris. Then click the button create. So this is alternate to Hadoop space fs-mkdir command. So that is from the terminal, and this is from the graphical user interface of Hue, Hue, Hue. Right, now see, Chris directory is going to be created. Now I want to copy a file. That is, we have a command Hadoop space fs- copy from local. Now instead of that, you want to load a file into the directory Chris. Then you can select here upload and select the file name which file you want to upload. Right, now select the file name from the system. So in the documents I have a file 3 is available. I'm selecting file 3, click the button open. Right now, so this file 3 is available where, under the Chris directory. So we have a file 3. Okay, so in this way we can able to copy a file to the SDFS directory. Right, it's alternative to Hadoop fs-put command. Right, you want to delete a file, select it. Now you have move to trash is available, right. So if you click this move to trash, now this file is moved to the trash. That means this file is moved to the recycle bin. Suppose if you want to delete this file permanently, then click the button delete forever, means it will be deleted, like shift delete in Windows. The file is permanently deleted. Now you want to download a file, then click on download. Right, it will be downloaded to a local file system directory. Okay, now I want to change the privileges. Yes, you can change the privileges of a file. Right, here you have an option, change permissions. Now see which permissions you want to give, you can give. Right, so see, Tahir, see, execute is disabled. Right, I can't able to give the execute privileges. So I have selected read and write completely. So when I'm trying to execute, I cannot able to execute because there is no privileges in CDH 4 and 5 to edit, to assign execute privilege. Right, so now click the button submit. Okay, now I have changed the privileges. It's simple, click on this, This is instead of writing chmod, you can use this GUI screen, change permissions. Now you want to assign only read permission to a file, right? Anybody can able to read this file, but nobody allowed to write and nobody allowed to execute. Then select
Ajay, will you always
yes.
have access to, sorry to interrupt, will you always